Good morning, everyone. Once again, you have Sassy Mint Grace here, February 22nd, 2023, and I'm reading the next section of Hope's Kiss, chapter 16 to 18. And here we go. Mark stood as MJ entered and shook her hand as he greeted her. How are they treating you? Okay, if being locked up 23 hours a day is your bag. Well, at least I have some idea of what we need to defend now. Apparently, FISA allows TRISM to extradite anyone they deem a threat to Homeland Security. You are known as a lone wolf by NSA. MJ shook her head and huffed in exasperation. What? A lone wolf? What's NASA got to do with it? The National Security Agency, not Space Agency. Well, apparently there are 6 words that are monitored on the internet, and it seems that you must have used them and got yourself noticed by PRISM, and with the help of FISA, or the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, you're being charged with terrorism. What the hell is PRISM? It's a clandestine mass electronic surveillance data mining program operated by the United States National Security Agency since 2007. The PRISM program collects stored internet communications based on demands made to internet companies such as Google Inc. to turn over any data that match court approved search terms. Oh, well, that explains everything. Narf. What in hell has this nonsense got to do with me? She demanded. Well, you've been found to be regularly using one of the 6 words online marijuana. Aghast, she shook her head and threw up her hands. Yes, I do use that word a lot because you see, I belong to a group started by ex law enforcement officials to lobby for the decriminalization of marijuana. So, yes, I get updates on the progress of the mission. It's called NORMAL. It stands for the National Organization of Reform of Marijuana Laws. What happened to free speech? Don't I have any rights to privacy online or freedom of expression? He ignored her exclamations and scratched notes in the book before he continued with, There's also a site you regularly go to that's based in Israel. Apparently, they're not big fans of America and this organization. In fact, it appears as if they're trying to take over the world. There are cells of this group around the globe. Chapter 17. Field agent Alfred Stafford studied the woman on the other side of the glass, talking her way into life imprisonment. He couldn't believe his ears. She was either insane or evil. He hadn't made up his mind just yet. He checked the time on his phone. 2 hours. In 2 hours, he would attend the wake of one of his family's oldest friends. He didn't look forward to it. Leonard had killed himself. It was sad that his wife took the children and left when she discovered him in the basement room wearing a dress and wig, and Len couldn't get past the heartbreak of abandonment and probably the shame of his proclivity as well. Stafford turned the recorder off and scratched his head. He couldn't believe that this woman was so brazen. She must know that she was being observed from the next room. Was she deliberately trying to prove she was insane, or did she authentically, seriously believe what she was saying? Was this about her being Canadian? Were they really that innocent or foolish? He swallowed a mouthful of cold coffee, made a face, and then swirled the remaining liquid around to mix the sugar in before tossing the rest of the drink down. He noted the time and place and other categories on the bureaucratic form he would finish in the main office on High Street before he left for the day. He thought about playing this tape for his superiors, wondering what their reaction would be to this woman's balls. He inhaled, stretched his neck to the right as far as it would go, and then exhaled as he returned to neutral. Then he inhaled again as he stretched it to the left, hoping this would relieve the tension in his shoulder muscles. This was an exercise he practiced semi regularly after some sessions with a physiotherapist for sore neck muscles. He looked at the time on his laptop, then shut it down before standing and putting on his suit. Still shaking his head about this prisoner in the next room, he closed his laptop, slipped it into a briefcase, picked it up by the black leather grip, and left. Chapter 18. Mark stood shaking his head for much of MJ's diatribe. Other times he tried to subtly indicate with his eyes and expressions his horror at what she was saying, knowing there were American eyes and ears on them. He began, MJ, you had just about admitted you're a terrorist. Think about where you are right now and what you're saying. I can't help you if you hang yourself with your mouth before we even get to the hearing. He burped and then continued, you obviously don't value your freedom like you say you do, or you wouldn't spout off against a nation that now holds the keys to your freedom. I don't have to shut up. If I'm in their nation, surely I have the same rights as they do, like the right to free speech, MJ growled. Sorry, lady, but only American citizens have those kind of rights, not extradited criminals. Fuck off. The only thing I'm guilty of is trying to save the world by associating with a group who want to see love and mutual responsibility for the well being we all associate with, rule it instead of fear and weapons. What a horrible person I am. Woe is me. This is unfucking believable. Surely the CIA have better things to do than eavesdrop on a peacenik with a fetish for fresh drinking water and a penchant for talking about the Creator when she's on medicinal grass. Yes, you heard me. I get baked to meditate. Mark folded his arms across his chest and studied her with amazement. Was MJ nuts or what? Her voice seemed perfectly reasonable. You would think that if this woman was over the edge, her partner would be getting us to call in a doctor. He looked at the wall clock over his head. It read 12 noon. He had to go get something to eat before he went to the judge's chambers to meet with the DA. He announced that he had to leave, then added, you're damn lucky they didn't see fit to send you to Guantanamo Bay. Being a white Canadian woman is undoubtedly what saved you from that trip. But if I were you, I'd watch my P's and Q's because they might yet change their minds and ship you there yet. This is a much better place, despite what you may think. Settle down and bridle that mouth before it gets you in a real bad situation. And that's the end for today. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.